I have to start streaming and then go to Facebook and then go live. And then hopefully we will have participants again. That will be nice. Yep. Yep. All right. I'm like, okay, we're live. Yay. All right. So I listened to the I'm All In Scott Peterson. What is that called? Or Patterson? Sorry, Patterson. Podcast about Gilmore Girls. He played Luke on Gilmore Girls, and yes. So they do. There were a lot of pop culture references in the movie. So they always like go over just a simple thing about like what they're talking about, and then like some little fact. So we're gonna go to the Wikipedia page, and all right. So Home Alone is a 1990 comedy, Christmas comedy about a boy who is left home alone in Chicago after his parents accidentally leave him behind to go to Paris. The people like actors in this movie include Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, and Catherine O'Hara. This is where Macaulay Culkin really was casted into the spotlight. Just really thrown in there. Yeah. I thought that it was a 1992 movie. I'm actually kind of surprised that it's a 1990 movie.
It's definitely one of those movies that ages a lot better and worse at the same time. I mean,
it's true.
I can't imagine anybody like pulling something like this off, especially with like the helicopter appearance that I'm aware of. So
right. I think that they could still do it, but like I think that it would probably be a horror film at this point. It'd be like, oh, your parents left you.
We can get into how this movie technically is a horror.
It is a horror movie. I forget how it is a horror movie. Yeah.
I've looked up videos where actual like crisis EMTs and surgeons have looked at the injuries on them, and
yeah,
honestly, it's a surprise. It's really nice that it's all satire, because honestly, this child would probably be arrested for manslaughter otherwise.
Yeah. I feel like there was someone who had said like peace was really never an option for oh my gosh, now I can't remember the character. I mean, I know he was played by Macaulay Culkin, but I forgot. McAllister, I know that, but Kevin, yes, Kevin was never. It was never about peace. They were like, he could have gone to the police the first day and been like, oh my god, my parents left me. He didn't.
They set up very early on that the child was not happy with his parents' situation. I mean,
they did.
I'll be fair in saying that a child probably would have like a 5 or 10 minute period of like, I'm alone without my parents. Yay, I can run amok.
Right.
Honestly, though, I mean, let's be fair. In reality, that child would be under his bed, screaming and or crying his head off.
Yeah.
Waiting for the police to come. Like, I'm pretty sure that he would call the police.
Right.
Like, I have to imagine like a child is smart enough to do that.
Yeah. Smart enough to set up all of these, traps. Smart enough to call the police. That's kind of, I think, where that theory comes from, is that, like, he was like, oh no, peace was never an option there. But yes, he has this terrible, like, I watched it within the last year. He has this terrible home life. His family treats him like crap. They gaslight him. Treat him just like he's just such a nuisance. And then, like, he has this, like, not basement, but attic room.
It was an attic.
Yeah, where it's just like when he woke up, everyone was gone, and he was like, "I wish them to be gone," and
Yeah,
they
like,
are.
that, like, number one, that would fuck up a kid.
Yeah.
Like wishing his parents were gone. In fact, directly confronting his mother, because I remember it was like, "I don't want to see you jerks again" line, right before he left for bed, and then it happened overnight. Like that guy has got to create some kind of mental neurosis in a child, particularly like one that, I mean, let's put it all on the table. Like, Kevin McAllister, as intelligent as he has been shown to be in the movie, he's also fucking crazy, which probably speaks to some kind of psychopathy or some kind of like neurological disorder that he was looking for some reason to go off.
He was. I mean, probably from the abuse. Honestly.
Technically had no fault about stealing a toothbrush show.
Yeah.
I mean, like that does speak to like having like an altered sense of morality. Like,
right. Well, and also, I mean, using other people's credit cards. You know, like there was.
I don't think we get into that movie. I wasn't gonna go there just yet, but yeah, I mean, he did have no problem with identity theft, and not to mention faking his parents' voice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, he's also really good at like making convincing stories, which, I mean, speaks to more like the audience, or it speaks more to the writing than it does like the character himself. But like, you'd have to make a convincing story to allow a 12-year-old to rent out a hotel suite in his parents' name with this credit card without.
Oh, that was Home Alone 2. I was thinking about this because Home Alone 1 was there was this kind of tender moment with the guy who no one liked, because they all found that he was creepy, and then like it just was kind of later revealed that he like lost his son, and like that's why he was so like out there. Home Alone 2 was the so Lost in New York, right? So Trump in that movie. Also, what you would call it, the pigeon lady, and you know, the tender moments, in that where they're like, oh, okay, like here's this person who's down on their luck, don't judge them too hard, you know.
I mean, like they use the exact same kind of like trope in that kind of movie. It does work for what it needs to do, which is to like give Kevin like a sense of some kind of what's the best way to put it? I wouldn't say like a parental view, but like definitely I mean, in the first movie it was more like a contemplative moment, or like not judging a book by its cover, as well as giving Kevin like a sense of, oh, here's this person that you thought was one thing but is actually another, and he's really just some lonely guy.
Right.
Where in the second movie, I don't know what you would classify it as, because basically she was just this woman in the park eating pigeons, and then like is up in the rafters of an opera house, and like she saves him from like getting killed basically because they brought out a gun. I didn't think they'd actually have the nerve to actually put a gun in a kids movie, but here we are.
Right. Well, it was the 90s.
Well, yeah, like you have to like think about it. Like the amount of weight they put on the scene with the gun is actually kind of insane. Like they basically just had like a revolver in front of this child. Like it was basically a child being threatened.
Yeah.
With a gun. Like I don't know too many movies that like just directly do it. Usually it's like threaten with violence, or I'm gonna beat you up, or I'm gonna
have some threat. Yeah.
Be like, I will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Here's the gun.
Here's the gun, kid.
You want to press your luck?
Right. Yep. And also that like they recognized him on the street, and they were like, we're gonna go after this kid again.
I actually in the second one they don't. Like, I think they actually try to avoid him, except for when they do like I can't remember what the circumstance was. Like, I think he was running from them, and then they caught him, and then
Yeah, I thought they roughed him up in like an alley or something.
Yeah, like it wasn't anything too extreme, but like they basically just left him alone. They were already on their own plan of stealing the money from Toy Store.
Yeah, from FAO Schwarz.
Was it FAO Schwarz?
You know what? I don't think it was. I think that it was a competitor.
I mean, they probably didn't have the rights to FAO Schwarz, but like,
yeah, probably not.
It was given because
yeah.
You probably have seen it, and
yeah.
I'm partially aware of FAO Schwarz from back when I was a kid, and I remember like it was being like very just huge and just like insanely overpopular with shit. So I mean, it looks about right. What FAO Schwarz is supposed to be.
Yeah. Especially back then, because I'm like, I've only been since, like, I don't even remember the first time. I guess 2010, maybe the first time. Yeah.
But yeah, like, they were on their own thing, like, just like, we're not gonna fuck with you. Like, don't fuck with us, we won't fuck with you. That was essentially what they wanted, was just like, this the demarcation line, essentially.
Yeah.
But, push comes to shove, like, you have to follow the old tropes.
Yeah.
They even got the fucking house that they, I mean, realistically, like, that place should be closed down. Like, it should be, the house he does the whole, whatchamacallit, the trap house bullshit. Like,
gotcha.
Realistically, that place should be, like, walled off. It should not in any way be fucking accessible to, let alone to a child.
Right, let alone to a child. Yeah. Yeah. I'm almost not surprised that the 90s were kind of like that. But, like, I mean, they shouldn't have been. Yeah.
No. But yeah, like, looking back at the movie, like, in terms of, like, as a kid in the 90s, like, that was, like, the kid you wanted to be. Like that was, like, the archetypical, holy shit, this child's awesome. He's able to defend his home. Like, that's what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah. He was able to, he was smart enough to defend his home. Yeah. But, yeah, it was, quite awful. Yeah, I remember watching watching at least one like YouTube video where it was just like, this is actually a horror film. Like, why did anyone think that kids should watch this?
Why do you allow the children to watch this unholy thing?
Yeah.
Like, this is about as disturbing as it gets.
It really is. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm trying to remember something that's like an equivalency of it, and I really can't think of anything.
You don't remember the scene?
No, I'm thinking about other movies. Like
gotcha. Return to Oz is supposed to be one of the ones that is particularly disturbing to kids. They actually have a list of what makes a horror movie for kids. And one of them is like, and I think The Witches also does this, where it's I think one of the highest ranking ones is like body, like, and medical, like weirdness, I guess. And I'm like, no, I should just look up the lists, because I remember sharing it with my husband, and he was like, no, this is exactly why I never wanted to really watch Return to Oz. Oh my gosh.
I remember Return to Oz. I mean, I watched it, I think either once or twice. I don't know if I was ever disturbed by it, but I definitely remember being like, holy shit, this is some, like, hardcore crap.
Yeah.
Like it got pretty intense with, like, the golem and, what there was the many-headed woman.
Oh,
Yeah, that
right.
one. I don't know what she was. Like, I thought I was confusing it with what you call it, the Neverending Story 2 with like that witch that like had like the mirror gallery of faces. But
Oof.
I'm half certain that there was one like that in Return of Oz.
Okay.
That was one of those like fucked up movies.
Yeah. Now I can't find this, whatchamacallit, list of what makes it scary. The only thing that it says is, like, dread and tension, and I'm like, well, this didn't have, I mean, it had dread, but it didn't have tension. I mean, I guess some tension. Because of, like, you know, when were they going to, like, go through, and, like, yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Like in the beginning of it, she was in an asylum.
Yes. Yeah. Oh God. Yes. That's the reason. Like that. Yeah. She's like returning to Oz. It's this whole thing about her being in an asylum because she was already gone to Oz, had come back, and was trying to kind of explain what had happened, and it like traumatized her.
I'm trying to remember. Was that part of like the extended universe of Oz books? Like, I know there was a bunch of Oz. Like,
there were a bunch of Oz books. I don't know how, like, where that one fit into all of the Oz books. There are, like, I was watching something on that where, like, there is one that was never, they wanted to make it into a movie, but I guess they couldn't. And there was something about, like, having like pumpkin heads or something. It was
okay.
Yeah.
So apparently it's an amalgamation of like 3 different books.
Mm-hmm.
It's amalgamation of the wonderful, not of Oz, the marvelous Land of Oz, the Ozma of Oz, and what's the third one? No, it's just those 2. It's mainly Marvelous Land of Oz and the Ozma of Oz.
Okay.
So it was just those 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. What's that?
It's typically a Disney movie.
Oh yeah, it is.
Jeez.
Which yeah.
Back when like Disney just produced things that had nuts.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of interesting that they like had the Sword in the Stone and the Black Cauldron. Never did much with the Black Cauldron. And yeah, that like what is that woman's name? Frieza Baruch or whatever. Yeah. Like, sorry, say it again.
Fairuza
Balk. That like yeah, I mean like she's a good actress. She, I think, has a particular type of movie that she's usually in because of unfortunately how big her mouth is. And I know that that's like such a weird thing to say about anyone, but I'm like, there's something about her mouth and her lips that make her look, you know, for a horror genre, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, she was in this. She was in The Craft.
She was in The Craft, yeah. But she was also in Waterboy, which I'm like, I mean, they tried to like get out of that.
She was trying to make her repertoire, which I can't like fault her for, especially given like all the rest of the time she was in things that like she was in like the sequel to the Craft, and like honestly that was just terrible.
So terrible. I didn't see it, and I was like all about The Craft.
Barely anyone saw it. I'll save you the trouble. David Duchovny as a warlock that fucks with other witches. Like
Jesus.
I know spoiler warning, but like
no one's gonna go. Oh, hey, let's watch that. Yeah.
If they do, I question so many things. Like
right.
Like nothing. Like I don't buy it.
Yeah.
Like else was she? Now I'm just looking up her IMDb shit.
I mean, I think she was in a lot of things. Yeah.
Not as much as you think. Like,
okay.
Oh, right. Island of Dr. Moreau. The movie where Marlon Brando
Yeah. And they had that kid who had that rare disease that I think unfortunately died afterward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember too much about that, but just God, like that movie was such an indulgent mess, and it was just like it's entertainingly bad for like.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
remember the '90s that it came out in, so I mean, at some point we should probably watch that too, because
Right.
we're like talk about that too. It's like that's one of those like I love terrible media. Like I inhale it like there's no
Nice.
tomorrow. So
Yeah.
something like this is just like it's amazing to watch like the bells and whistles in someone's head like try to piece together how this all happened.
Yeah.
Like what decisions made this thing and why.
So, yeah, I believe that one of the actors in The Island of Dr. Moreau was a kid who had a disease where like his bones didn't form properly, and he what do you call it? He aged like 4 times faster than he was supposed to, or something like that. So yeah, it was, and then usually people with rare diseases, especially ones that like cause so much trouble basically for the body, don't end up surviving too long, unfortunately. So yeah.
I'm just trying to remember who I think it is, because like there's a so I'm looking up this list, and honestly, I'm amazed. Like I know we're supposed to talk about people, but just
Yes.
I'm looking at the IMDb for fucking Island of Dr. Moreau, and I'm insanely like just like wowed at the number of movie stars that I've seen this. Number 1, Mark Dacascos. Number 2, the guy who played Jango Fett. I knew Ron Perlman was in it, but it's still amazing to just like.
Oh yeah, to think about. Yeah.
Oh, is she on? Was she on in? No. I for some reason there was one who I thought was in Girl. Who was it? The Pearl.
Girl with the pearl earring.
Yeah.
Pearl earring.
But yeah, like just there's so many names in this movie. Oh, and also Douglas Hughes. I'm trying to remember who. Oh yeah, he was in Sandman. He played the Flames guy from Sandman. Yeah, he played Ares. He was the Yeoman. He was Lupin in fucking Harry Potter. Like God,
yeah.
There's so many actors in this that like.
Right. Sometimes it's really surprising when you're like, oh yeah, they've reached kind of superstar status. I'm surprised they were in. Oh yeah, they were working at that time.
Yeah. Well, they work. It's just the problem is they don't get too much credit for their work. Like they're those kind of actors that like are really really good at character acting, but unfortunately they just get like lost to like more name actors. Like,
right.
Like Val Kilmer, I'm not gonna like brush my nose at because he is decent of an actor, but like honestly, the guy who played the main lead, like he was way better and way more composed. And Val Kilmer just, I think like everyone else, he just went ham on that set after a certain point, because I think everyone knew like Marlon Brando is making this way more awkward than it needs to be.
Wow. Yeah.
Because they were like he was doing like demands all over the place. But I don't like going down on this tangent, but I really want to go down this tangent because Marlon Brando is such a weirdo.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm like, he's dead, right? Like he's
Yes,
he's
dead.
Okay. Okay. I mean, sorry. There's a lot of people where like I just haven't paid attention, and I'm like, but I don't want to play Dead or Alive, but like, I think he's dead. Yeah.
No, he is dead.
Yeah.
He absolutely died. But the thing is, like, even then, like, you're not supposed to make fun of celebrities. I'm not making fun of the man's like obvious like struggles, because he's probably has gone through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I'm not discounting that, but at the same exact time, he didn't make these demands. Like,
you're like, at the same time, fuck him. Like, and I'm like, I mean,
look,
you know.
When you make like, if you're making conscious decisions for this kind of thing, you're going to be mocked for them.
Yeah.
Like obviously he didn't take care of himself. Obviously he let things slide. He was obviously a workaholic. Now, is he an amazing actor? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He was also a fucking weirdo.
Mm.
Like, not to like, I'll bring this up just to counterbalance it.
Okay.
In one of the Academy Awards ceremonies.
Oh, yes, much respect for that.
Yes, he had a Native American actress come on and take the award for her and want to do a full speech in order to bring up
Right. She was never allowed to do the full speech. I love this. I think her last name was Littlefeather. She got up there. She said he is declining the award. And she was like, I just want to, he allowed me to come up here to, talk about this stuff. And people started booing. And it was like, okay. She quietly, she was like, just, her being very, like, even keeled, like, yep, okay. So, like, there's a lot of issues with, in the film industry, as well as, with their treatment of Native Americans and, all this stuff. And, like, I'm like.
And then she got snubbed for it because Hollywood.
Yeah, well, yeah. But, I mean, like, there was, oh gosh, he was a regular Native American actor, and he died recently. I want to say it was like, was it Redfoot or Littlefoot or can't remember, but like he really tried to push for Native American treatment, better Native American treatment and representation in films, but he also a lot of times played like a Mexican who was like, like with John, oh my gosh, Trevo, oh my gosh, I know no one's names, obviously, they just ended up playing like the bad guys. Like, okay, thanks, great, really glad,
yeah,
like, awesome, thanks. So yeah, like, I mean, I agree that Native Americans, yeah, and even watching one episode of the A-Team one time, I was like, oh, this is terrible. Oh my god, I hate this. Oh, it was it was a white dude playing a Native American. And they did like the head dry. It was bad. And then like the whole Running Zach episode of Saved by the Bell too, because white people really like to pretend that they're Native American. And every time someone's like, well, you have Native American features, I'm like, I am not Native. I have done 2 DNA tests and I am not Native. There were rumors that I was Native, and I'm like, where in all of my history is there a Native? Because like grandparents great grandparents on my dad's side came from Poland, and great grandparents or great grandparents on my grandma's side came from Ireland. So like, where in that was there ever a Native American in there?
I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, Hollywood's got its measure of fucking problems, and we can go into fucking a giant ass tangent about that shit. Yeah. But mostly what I wanted to do was just offset the fact that I'm about to insult Marlon Brando's entire fucking career.
And then after that, we should probably talk about Macaulay Culkin's parents, because that's a whole thing. Yeah.
Yes, because let's face it, because that is fucked up.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. So Marlon Brando.
So, what was his? There we go. It's on Slash.
Okay.
Yeah. So apparently he had like an entire fucking thing of demands that basically made it impossible for the production to really set up like an effective production schedule. So what was it? Where are you? Sorry, I'm trying to look.
Oh, it's okay.
It's really difficult to like. Because I think that I know the pale thing was his idea, like coating himself in like white paint and everything was his idea, as far as I'm aware. Yes, okay, here it is. He finally arrived. Oh, okay, this makes sense now. So apparently, Marlon Brando's daughter took her own life before production began.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so apparently that might have also had an effect. So I'm still gonna, like, point out all the fucking, like, things he got asked for, but, like...
But with the lens of, he just lost his daughter.
Yeah, let's be fair, like, when you lose a child like that, like, I think, like everyone else, I was under the assumption, like, he was old Hollywood and crazy, but when you lose a child to that, okay, you get a pass. Like, I'm not gonna, like, do too many insults. Okay, so Brando and Val Kilmer didn't like each other, and they were, like, bashing each other's egos, so that was great. That probably set up a lot of things, because God knows. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I've heard resistance and pressure can cause, like, good script ideas, but, like, not always.
Yeah.
So, peacock feathers for his grand entrance. Which they, oh my god. Apparently, this is, I don't blame Brando for this, I blame production on this. Apparently, they plucked live peacock feathers off of actual animals.
Oh, no. Yeah.
When he wanted an ice bucket, he got it. He invented his own plot points.
That sounds terrible.
Script rewrites almost incessantly. Oh. So apparently, you know, the little guy, or the actor that they had playing, like, I don't know if you would call him his son or whatever.
Okay.
Like, the
little person?
Hold on.
Okay.
It was the man with the sword that made him small.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like that guy.
Okay.
But apparently, he was given. You know, I can't even fault this, because now that I think about it, like, how many actors like that get a chance to really shine on the screen? So, like, I'm not going to, like, be too hard on this, because, like, actors like this don't really get too many, like, on-screen big roles, especially when, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it kind of comes across like a joke character, but I mean, now that I think about, like, the scenes with that guy, it becomes more meaningful that he's on there as long as he is, and has such a chemistry with Marlon Brando. I mean, I don't mind it, but, like, I can understand how destructive it can be to production when you just, like, all of a sudden decide to, like, do all this shit. That said, you know, Marlon Brando gets what Marlon Brando wants, so I'm not gonna...
So what was the guy asking for?
Like I said, just, like, script rewrites every
gotcha.
Like,
okay.
Constantly, water, like, ice buckets whenever he, like, demanded it. Script rewrites pretty much just constantly, which, I mean, let's put it into context. Like, this is probably going to be one of your last productions. I'm almost certain Island of Dr. Moreau was Brando's last movie. Let me look it up. I'm pretty sure, like, it is. If not, I'll feel really bad.
Oh, gotcha.
But I'm going to assume that, like, Marlon Brando was
just done.
But that said, like, wait, what? Okay, never mind. That was not his last movie.
Okay.
Apparently he did work up until 2006.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought that he had a movie in the 2000s.
For some reason, like, I think everyone assumes, like, that was his, like, I think I'm like everyone else, where I was like, okay, this is his last movie, right?
Right, this is it. This is it.
I have a feeling, like, it's the last movie Marlon Brando, like, really got to, like, flourish on.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, I feel like, I think that's probably more appropriate, but yeah. But yeah, like, mention like what I know about like Hollywood and how it treats like older celebrities and how they kind of fuck over everybody regardless of their age. I mean, I'm more inclined to give Marlon Brando a break right now.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea of like the superstar deranged celebrity. Like I have a feeling that's more of an invention of like the press than it is really.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think that there are some people, probably like Mel Gibson comes to mind, where like no, they did that to themselves, but like other meltdowns, I'm like, yeah, no, I think that's all like, I think it was one of my clients, and then like my husband had told me about Keith Richards. He like sits down and is like, I want a Coke, and like people are like, here's your Coke, like here's whatever you want, and like after 50, 60 years of, I think it's 50, of being famous, like yeah, you could just be like, no, I want chicken right now, and like someone has it for you.
So I can point to something very, very like apt to this, which is Iron Maiden. Was it Bruce Dickinson? I think it was Bruce Dickinson. Maybe said wrong. He had curry brought from London, like exclusively on planes, whenever he felt like it. And I think it was like numerous times. He spent like I think it was like $2 or $3 million just to get curry.
Yeah. And so, like, for me, I'm like, when I think about, like, if I ever became famous, like, I would be pissed off all the time. Like, because, like, people want to know every detail about your life. They feel obligated to every detail about your life. Like, you can't go outside. You can't, like, go grocery shopping. I'd probably be pissed off every day, being like, I have to stay in my house. Why? Because of your fuck faces. Yeah. Like, I'm not being nice to you. Yeah.
That's what I found when I'm thinking about like doing YouTube and being famous and everything, and that is that there is such a stigma that like is becoming more and more prevalent with like fame and everything. Maybe Twitter and like the idea of the internet like being more open.
Yeah.
That people being a little more observant has shown us that it's entirely like possible. You don't have to be in the Hollywood machine.
Yeah.
God, does it like chew people and spit them out?
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think it's because like I've had this experience as well, where like I mean, there's been a couple of like kind of crazy things. Sorry, not crazy. Trying to avoid using that word. A couple of things that have been very concerning, let's say, stemming from either being an art therapist or being on YouTube. One being that like people will reach out to me, students. It's about 1 or 2 per year, and they'll be like, I said that I'd interview someone for like who's in this career, and you came up, and like I have questions for you. I don't want to. I don't have the time. I don't. So like on my website, it'll say like, here are questions that people have asked me about art therapy. Here you go. So it's just kind of out there pre-made for them. And now only occasionally I'll get someone who will be like, oh, hey, I read that. Here's some other questions. Okay, great. Thank you. I'm going to put it on there. And like, I don't want to be bothered. And like some like art therapy, like people interested in art therapy will be like, oh, could I just take you out to tea and pick your brain? No, you can't. I don't have time. Like you want to be in this field, come to me for art therapy. I have no like motivation to go and talk to you for how long? For a cup of fucking tea. Like, not to insult anyone who's like, hey, let's like be like, no, I'm good. I'm good, thanks.
I'd rather not. I can't
yeah.
possibly.
Yeah, I please don't waste my time, and like I'm just not, I can't. I did it early on, and it's tiring because it's like people want something from you, and then you're kind of like, okay, so what happened? Like, did this make you more interested? Did this make you less interested? Like, what other questions might you have? I don't. Whatever, you went on your way. After that, I'm good. I'm good. The other thing was one time this guy who lived, I guess, like in one of the towns kind of close by, kind of found out where I lived. He like wanted to meet with me. Eventually, like, I met with him and he was like, yeah, most of ADHD just comes from like from what you eat, all this other stuff. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. I don't like, yeah, that's one aspect if people don't want to go like medication route, but like, yeah, like I get where you're coming from. This has been kind of well known and documented, like, encouraged and all that stuff. But then like one time he like emailed me and was like, oh, I'm like, I lived near the casinos at the time, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna go, like, I'm passing by the casino right now, or something. He said something, and I was like, how would you know that I lived up there? Like, if you know kind of where I work and what I do for work, like, how did you know that I was up there? So like that was concerning, and I just like I just like, and there's often times where I just get so busy at work that I'm like, oh, you needed something, I forgot. You're gonna have to give me 2 weeks for anything, and I'm pretty sure whatever like essay or interview that they're looking for needs to probably be done within the week or something, and I'm like, I don't have time. I just don't. So those were two things that were kind of like concerning that happened, that I was like, I'm good. As of right now, my other YouTube channel just has like people who are like, you're stupid, you're an idiot, you're incompetent, no one's ever gonna come to you, you would never be my therapist. And I'm like, well, I don't want you. Go away, please. This isn't the right venue for this. I'm good. Like, and some people will just be like, I disagree, and I'll be like, well, thank you. Great. Glad.
Someone did well on YouTube, been crossover into this kind of Macaulay Culkin. Because I don't know if you're aware of this. He's come on a lot of YouTube like review movie and like video game shows.
Interesting.
And like kind of thrive in the idea of being like the being the former child actor, but like he's also like in really good spirits of it all, and just kind of like done well of kind of like, I wouldn't say like moving past it, but like coming to terms with it. I think is
I think coming to terms with it. Yeah. All I remember is I think while he was in his addiction, or just slightly after he was sober, that he went to he did a commercial, and it was him as an Uber driver, I think, where he was like, yeah, there was some fucked up shit that happened in my childhood, and like the like passengers were like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. Like looking back at it, like obviously he's gone through some shit. Like, and
yes.
And it wasn't even necessarily that it was his fault that it was.
It was not.
Going on.
Yeah. No.
Like with the thing with child actors, like they get fucked over all the time. I think like,
they really do.
More than a proof of that with Jeanette McCurdy.
Well, even before that, I've been keeping up with some of like the other child actors. Terrence Smith. He was like 16 and first married a 25-year-old, which I was like, ooh, that sounds like a whole thing. But like his parents stole his money. And one of the kids who was in Full House, like as like a extra, like one of Michelle's friends, Miko, he was also in Cujo, and his parents stole his money as well. And like the things that I've heard about Macaulay Culkin's parents on the set or mom on the set of Richie Rich has been basically, she was like, he better fucking work, because like he's basically making the money right now. And like his parents seemed, his parents weren't married and had like however many kids, and like I think at least 4 or 5, because like Kieran and the other one, and then Macaulay like are like went into acting, and then I think there were like 1 or 2 older ones who were like, we don't care about this. and whatchamacallit, they like, yeah, they just were kind of very interested in Mac per Macaulay, just making the money. So I'm not surprised that eventually, that all led to addiction. It sounds like 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 the parent separation was bad, and then just being famous that young and being exploited and all of the other things that go along with that.
Yeah, but I think he's also like done really well to like move beyond it and just
Yes.
like the problem is like parents in Hollywood, but particularly with like from what I understand, Los Angeles and like all in that area, when it comes to like prodigy actors, like people who like hope their children become like better actors than they ever could,
right,
and all that. It gets
the
so
good
toxic.
child. Yeah. Or no, the good son. Oh god, that like both he and oh my god, the other guy were really good in that. Just exemplified like great actors. Yeah.
Then that whole thing with like the Michael Jackson shit, like that.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like that added fuel to the fire. I'm assuming like.
Oh yeah, I'm sure people are still asking him like, you need to talk about it. Like, no, I fucking don't. Like, nothing happened, and when I say nothing happened, nothing happened. Like, also, it is none of your fucking business if like anyone was like abused in that way. Like, I've actually had a conversation like that with one of my family members. Like, they called me and was like, "Did this ever happen?" I'm like, first of all, hi, how are you? Hello. Second of all, even if it did happen, this is not the way to start this conversation. Like, you don't know what like mind space I'm in. Like, this could like push someone over the edge. Nothing happened, but like this is not appropriate as far as a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I actually looked it up. Like I was looking up Home Alone stuff, and apparently the actor who played Buzz was involved in some shit too. So like, it wasn't just Macaulay Culkin who was like
right.
hit by it.
Yeah.
Like every actor was like kind of destroyed by it.
Right.
Like I mean, the Hollywood machine just kind of like does that to everyone. Like John Hurd, like he just ended up in a bunch of like C movies, despite the fact that I actually looked it up and he's been in a decent amount of like, I wouldn't say great movies, but like a decent amount of good horror movies and everything. Oh wait, his brother was in it. Apparently, Macaulay Culkin's brother Kieran was in it.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I think he was one of the younger kids.
Huh, I didn't notice. Like,
oh, gotcha.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I think like everyone else, like Macaulay Culkin's brother. Like unless I'm thinking about Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh, gotcha.
Which I didn't already about that because like that's the only movie I'm aware of him in. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. That and Signs.
Oh, gotcha.
Two movies that I'm genuinely aware of Macaulay Culkin's brother, and like I can remember him tangibly.
Oh, gotcha.
Which I'm assuming might make me a little above the curve because like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember what Kieran was in, but I know that he was in like a bunch of stuff, but only as like not usually the lead. Oh, did you ever see Party Monster? Or no? Okay. So Macaulay Culkin was in a movie with Seth Green, and Marilyn Manson. It's a whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I've seen it.
Okay.
But I've never watched it.
Oh, okay. I have seen it a couple of times. It's based on the book that what was it, like James St. James or something, or Michael St. James wrote, called Disco Bloodbath, which that should not, of all the things. So this is the oh my god, I have to take off my glasses for this. This is a true story about Michael Oleg. Michael Oleg actually got out of jail and after 20 years in prison, and I guess still had demons, obviously. So he was doing fine for a while, and then he overdosed. So he's dead. Sorry, there's something going on the back end. Okay, we're fine. And so Michael Oleg apparently had some drug bender and murdered his friend Angel, and then tried to hide that he murdered his friend and drug dealer Angel, and cut up his body and put it in boxes, and then put it in the one of the rivers in New York. It came up on shore. They obviously did the DNA test, found out that it was Angel, and eventually interviewed all of the party kids at that time. And it's like, so this movie is about James St. James is played by Seth Green. Michael Oleg is played by Macaulay Culkin. They go on their, like, kind of how this developed in like the rave scene in like the early 90s. It's obviously a terrible story, and James St. James being like, it's a disco bloodbath. Like, are you fucking kidding me here? Like, that sounds like that could just be like a murder mystery, like a LGBTQ or whatever murder mystery, but like, really? You didn't, like, you went for the memoir story there, buddy. There's like Macaulay Culkin played Michael Oleg in a movie. And Michael Oleg, I believe, was on Jerry Springer at some point, just being like, I just like that party. That's all I want to do with the rest of my life.
See, I can understand that, and given like his life before this, like, I can appreciate like him just wanting to, like, go. All girls want to have fun.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
Well, right now he's doing really well. Like, he's apparently married to Brendan Song, has a child with her.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, like, I remember that. Yeah.
Pretty well now. Like,
yeah, and he finally got sober. He was in that really funny. He played in Hamden at the Space one time. In a band that was a parody band with pizza.
Oh god, I just saw it like literally like a second.
Oh, gotcha, a second ago, as I'm like telling you from my mind, yeah.
I had his like wiki up, and I was just like,
yeah.
I can find it. Oh, Pizza Underground.
Pizza Underground, yeah.
Yeah, apparently right now he's just doing a satirical podcast in line with like a bunch of how a bunch of celebrities have been doing like stuff like I hate bringing this up, but like Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop and that kind of thing where
marketing themselves in different areas, and I saw a Goop bag yesterday while I was at Grand Central, and I was like, all right, we're I'm not.
So this is what it's like to pay for overcharged shit and not really get anything out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of that going on in like the spiritual community. I'm always shocked. Like my friend was, she was not in a good space mentally, and I think people do take advantage whenever you're not in a good space. And so someone sold her a, I mean, if she bought it on her own, it'd be fairly inexpensive. Wax is not, it's not an expensive thing. It was a candle, and I think she paid a lot for it, and then paid for whatever cleansing that this person was saying that they were doing, and it was like, you gotta stop. Like, you don't pay this person all of this money for trying to cleanse
like, I think we're not like bashing like.
Oh no, I am a very spiritual person. I just don't think. Yeah.
Like when celebrities try to do it, and it's like hyper expensive stuff that obviously a lot of spiritual healers and everything. I don't think that they're like predatory. Like most of them are predatory. Like, but then there's people like, I don't want to like point out Gwyneth Paltrow constantly on principle, but the thing is, like when you have something that says like psychic vampire repellent and like that show that basically is just like here's how you glorify you're being healthy by like and then there was of course mineral that you use for a sex toy and like like that kind of thing like where it's like people
don't do
know
that.
what they're talking about but they pretend like they do and have some kind of like look just go to the doctor like don't assume like this kind of shit will like help you in the long run just like don't skip on actually going to a doctor ever.
Right just I started seeing a new doctor, and the first doctor who I had gone to, I don't think that she was really acknowledging like my issues, and I was like, and then she was like, I'm evidence-based. So I go into this new doctor, and he's like, I'm evidence-based, and I'm like, I'm about to like fucking lose my fucking shit, because the whole reason why some things have found to be like working in other ways is because they like doctors use off-label uses for some medications, and I'm like, yeah, you have to do that occasionally, like you have to be willing to like try not only evidence-based and like I'm getting to a point where I'm like, I don't fucking know. What am I gonna do? I mean, I think I get why they're saying that they're evidence-based, but like, there's gonna be a part of me that eventually is gonna be like, I don't know if I want entirely evidence-based. Like, let's go a little experimental. I'm okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I think I'm like most people, and I'm just like, I'm sick of the whole machine, but then again, like. Have to live in those machines, but I don't know. Like,
exactly. I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
I mean, but that said, like, I feel like part of the problem with Hollywood and like what happened with Macaulay Culkin and like many other celebrities is that there was never a big acknowledgement of mental disorders in normal people. Like everyone just like brushed it aside or just like toughed it out.
And the laws didn't change for a long time, so you can still use child actors and like have a 20-hour filming day. Like that didn't change until I think the mid-90s or something. That's why you see so many twins starting out doing work, because it was easier to have twins do one part, so that they could actually like film within the actual limits.
Like I don't disagree on that. Like I understand like you need like children in Hollywood to do shit, but I think there is a hard limit when it comes to this kind of thing, especially with
I mean, did you hear about like Will Wheaton having like anxiety on set, and like no one was sympathetic to him at all? They were just like, why are you being so difficult?
Like, I never heard about it, but like I've been aware of I was actually aware of Will Wheaton through like tabletop gaming and whatnot before I ever saw like a Star Trek episode. I'm sorry, I know.
Okay, I'm fine, back.
My wife's gonna kill me. I know. I'll deal with it. Look, Star Trek. Like I was aware of Will Wheaton doing like tabletop stuff before Star Trek, and I actually looked him up with like I more associate him with like gaming than I do with that. And to be honest, like he comes across as a very anxious person.
Oh, gotcha.
Some way. Yeah. Like, there's like hints of him having like pretty bad anxiety. Now I still believe he enjoyed being on Star Trek, especially when he's still like exemplified, like he still praises it to this day, and still like hangs out with some of the actors and everything. So I have to believe that there's a level of like respect there, but I could see that like there's like so much expectation and so much like shit to go through, and not to mention like probably there have been like a number of fans that have been shitty and just like went shut up Wesley to him.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Consistently.
Online and otherwise.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, like I think there was that very very famous tweet that was like, I'm so sorry, I'm so tired of hearing it. Like the next person who says it gets blocked, and it was oh my god, Captain Picard. I forgot who played him, which is terrible. And
as a joke, I get it.
As a joke, yeah, as a joke. And yeah. But I also think that so like I did watch him on Star Trek. I think that was one of the things where I was like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll watch this. It was like kind of a quiet show too, so I kind of liked that. When I was younger, and then the next time I saw him or remember seeing him was not How I Met Your Mother, Jesus, the other one, The Big Bang Theory, and and how much he just made fun of himself on that, and like, yeah, and how much he tortured whatchamacallit, Sheldon about all of that. Yeah.
Like I feel like he has like gained a better grasp
Yes.
Of his fame, like more than other like celebrities have, obviously. But like, I also believe like the Hollywood machine does like a terrible job of like of
any mental health. Yeah. And I remember there used to be people who would like go into the hospital and be like, oh, you know, it's for exhaustion, and everyone would be like, yeah, it's for exhaustion. And it was like, we think you're in there for like a bender. But now I'm like, no, I get it. Yeah, there should be hospitals for exhaustion. Like, I can't fucking deal with life. I just need to rest. Just rest. And, you know, definitely understand it for any celebrity to just be like, yep, exhaustion. You gotta just go and just chill, you know.
Like in that same regard, like I mean, I'm speaking as someone who's worked like warehouse work and done like 40, 50-hour days. Like I can attest, like this shit like is not viable. Like no. The idea of like working yourself to death, like it's becoming less and less viable. And I hate the idea that people automatically go, well, but older generations did. It was gaining. Obviously, it didn't, because fucking people are like in hospitals like now, burnt out as hell and barely functioning as people.
Right. Yeah.
Like, don't tell me that it works because like older generations did. Older generations, like, I'm getting into fucking like so much shit with this thing, but like at the same time, like, so I loathe the idea that like older generations have it like where their opinion is like rote and like they know everything. Like, if they did it, it's working. And it's like, no, that's not true, because obviously it doesn't. Because look at the state of things right now.
Right.
It's genuinely like fucked up, and obviously things can be better.
Right.
But you know, God forbid we actually call them on that, because then it's like, oh, but that means everything we did was fucked up.
Well, I think what happened was that in the 80s, they were like, we all have money, hey. And then they were like, hey, let's kind of like do some things to like make this a little bit more difficult. Just maybe people shouldn't be at the same level as us. And I think that's where it went down. And I can tell you, with this home buying stuff, and like, you know, I'm in the, well, we have conditional approval. We don't know if we have anything at this point, and like our closing date is like 3 weeks, so I'm like, well, I don't know when we'll know. No idea when we'll know. And so like I remember, you know, like just thinking, oh, you know, it's kind of easy to buy places, isn't it? You know, and like, yeah, it had been for our parents, but like anything now, you know, like someone will be like, oh yeah, well, you know, maybe I'll just get a foreclosure. Like, oh, do you have $100,000 in cash like right now? Like, no. Okay, so you have to have that, and then you're gonna have to not be able to stay there while everything's being fixed up. Oh yeah. Well, I have people who will help me. How often can they help you? Because like if they help you on the weekends, it's gonna take a long time for you to move into any place that it's been foreclosed and probably has some other issues. Like, vandalism and, you know, like the plumbing not working. You know, so how long is that really going to take you, and can your family like be okay with everything that's going to happen, you know? And then you have like the, you know, people who are like, oh, I'll just get something cheap and, you know, I'll fix it up with like the first with the first homeowner's loan. And it's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. They want you to have like a house that you can like live in. They don't want you to have anything you have to like
I
fix up.
Understand.
And then it's like, oh shit, well, like, okay, so do you have $100,000 cash on hand so that you have that for the down payment and everything, you know, and the closing costs? Like, you gonna be able to do that? And, you know, it's like, yeah, all that, it's a lot of paperwork gatekeeping, and it's amazing, you know, because, like, you really don't know until you go through it, where you're like, oh, I didn't know all of this. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, crap, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know. You know?
No, people never really think about it, and then, like, all this shit happens, and you're just like, well, boop. Like, and I love that notion of, like, oh, but it was so easy for a parent. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Then the housing bubble happened.
Right. And then that whole thing about, like, the subprime mortgages and everything, where it was, like, people who couldn't afford a mortgage bought houses, and then they couldn't afford the mortgages, so then, the banks were like, ah, shit, how do we prevent ourselves from being back in this situation? And everything got, they were like, okay, so you got to do this, and this now. Like, ah, shit.
It's not to say it wasn't predatory before, like,
right.
It was predatory at that point. Like,
yeah.
I don't know,
I mean, okay, so, like, I looked this up. The house that my parents bought in 1992 was $80,000. If they still owned it today, it'd be, equivalent to $400,000, right? That place, but I will tell you, it's worth the cost. It was sold in 2002, I believe. I can't remember how much it was sold. I don't even know if I knew how much it was sold for. And I think since then has had two owners. They've fixed it up immensely. When we lived in it, it was 1970s. Not much was done to it except for fixing the roof when it leaked. So there was really no update. I'll say that while we lived there. So it is now worth $1 million at least. Because of all the updates that have been made to it. And it is very much, like, updated to be very functional and $1 million home. It on top of being on a quarter acre of land. So it's, yeah. worth it now, but I'm also like, I wouldn't be able to afford that same house, but if it was like stuck in the 90s, with all the 90s decor, maybe I'd be able to afford it, like if it was stuck at that 400,000 like limit. But yeah, all the improvements, I don't blame it for being $1 million home now.
That's the problem. Like, I'll come back to Home Alone on this, because I think this is our problem.
Oh, yeah.
Is that, if you remember Home Alone in, like, 90s homes in general,
yep.
Like, there was an unerring sense of, like, you could buy a home no matter what your situation was.
Yeah.
Which I find, like, insulting nowadays.
Yes.
Like, because I think most people will look at the idea of, like, the 90s movie where, like, these people don't have some kind of job, but they managed to have this kind of home, and they'll look at it like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
right.
This is complete fiction. Like,
yeah.
Like, fuck, like, this element, like, fuck this fantasy element here. They can afford a house.
Right.
On no paycheck? Like,
right.
I don't believe you.
Right. Well, and I think that kind of also made many of us not aware of, like, people who were trying to take advantage of us when we were younger. Because, like, if someone was like, oh, yeah, I own this home, and they were 20, like, there was never, like, how did you afford a home at 20? It was like, yeah, well, that's their house, whatever, there was no question about, like, oh, this might not actually be like a good idea. Like this might be someone who's like faking and a fraud and lying,
or drugs or something like that.
Or drugs, yeah, or something. Something's going on. Shady shit's going on for this person to be like, I own this house,
Or mommy and daddy bought it for them, which is equally insulting. But
right, exactly. And like I know that like I knew someone. We didn't get along in like our teens. And then later he was like, yeah, I own this house in San Diego in this nice part. And I was like, I don't think you do. I think you're a fucking liar, man. But like that was the only person who I'd ever been like, I don't like nah. That you're pulling some fucking shit there. Like on the fucking beach, dude? No. Too far with that lie. Yeah.
Like if it was like a normal house or even like a shitty house, like okay, I believe you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, but, like I think he was like renting a room, like probably a basement apartment from like one of his friends or family friend or something like that, and then was like, "This is my house." Like, no, it's not, dude. No, it's not. Go fuck yourself. Yeah.
Like, just admit it. It's like it's joint rent. Like everyone pays their share. Like, that's like no one's gonna judge you for it. Like everyone's shit.
Right, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, that's cool. You found like a cool place to rent. That's awesome." Like you didn't have to go and be like, "No, this is my place." Like, nope, too far with that lie. Too far. Yeah. And by the way, it's not someone like I don't know if like any of my high school friends are watching. Like, it's not someone I went to high school with. It was someone I knew outside of that. Yeah.
I still again I just have to point out like the idea that like it's more fanciful about owning your own home right now than it is owning superpowers.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
you could probably have superpowers. Yeah. And probably believe it more. Yeah. So the house that the McAllisters owned is like was there only one income in that family? Like, because there was still like the possibility. No, I guess it was 2-income house, right? Like
it's either two-income house or someone owns some kind of patent on something.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Like I would like even the Rugrats had like Stu was like a toy inventor, owns a toy company or something.
Yeah.
That's how they have a big house and all that. Like
because the mom would stay at home.
Like there was no indication of what they did for a living, which I mean, given the idea, like it was mostly a story about people going on vacation, like I can overlook it. Plus, it was supposed to be about like people getting robbed, and you want to have a house that looks, like
very
like robbable. Like you want it to be like a beacon for like
someone.
You want to over exaggerate things, so like part of it is obviously. It's meant to exaggerate stuff, so that's kind of like in that same vein. Same with the violence, like it's supposed to be cartoony, but like there's a limit to this kind of thing. Like I think anyone with like eyes could have seen like, oh my god, like this is not like how did this like go over our heads? Where like how the hell did we get to this part where we're like watching people get electrocuted and destroyed and all this, but like we were okay with it. Like what the fuck?
What the fuck was wrong?
And now I'm just remembering the fucking other movies in the Home Alone franchise.
Okay.
So I have the displeasure of knowing and watching 3, 4, and 5.
Okay. I remember that there was a 3, that it was, obviously, oh, you know what, I watched, a YouTuber who, like, watched all of them, and they're all bad. They're all bad.
3 is a little more forgivable than the rest, like, it's the sliding scale of quality when it comes to these movies. 3 brought in like spy elements, which was party shit, but it had Scarlett Johansson, so like like I'll give it a pass. And then 4 was
I'm gonna read the whatchamacallit, the description. Hold on. Why is it being weird?
Yeah, that's one thing. The one with French Stewart. Yeah.
Oh, with French Stewart. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, Neil Flynn. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then there was 6, because there was the 6th one.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yeah. There was Home Alone 4, which was an ABC Family original movie, which was supposed to be a spin-off to an actual Home Alone series, which never happened.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, because, I mean, you could easily tell, like, this is made-for-TV movie shit.
Right.
Made on a budget, but it's so bad. And that wasn't bad enough. They cast French Stewart in Joe Pesci's role.
Oh,
so
no.
If they weren't, like, already, like, digging themselves into a grave, there it is. So.
Oh, all right. I'm reading what the plot is for Home Alone 3. Okay. So Peter, Alice, Burton, and Earl are 4 internationally wanted criminals who work for a terrorist organization. All right, we're already starting off great, like just a little up there. It's already up there. In Silicon Valley.
Before you say anything, yes, this was written by John Hughes.
Yes, I do see that.
That could frighten you.
So, in Silicon Valley, they steal a $10 million missile cloaking microchip and hide it inside a remote control toy car to sneak it past security at SFO, or San Francisco International Airport. The luggage gets mixed up with a Chicago-bound elderly passenger, who inadvertently takes the thieves' bag and then I'm guessing gives it to her 8-year-old. Yeah.
No, she gives it. This is gonna be hilarious because I still remember this.
Oh, gotcha.
Because it's still fresh in my mind. The kid was shoveling a sidewalk.
Yeah.
Because he needed to make money because his parents were trying to instill responsibility in him.
Jesus.
And the woman was a grouch, which was she was the insert for the creepy old man.
Yeah.
Like she was basically that the insert, like, oh, I'm terrible, but I'm secretly okay kind of shit. But yeah, that was a gift for cleaning the driveway instead of money. And after that, the kid gets chicken pox and has to stay home and proceeds to find creepy shit going on while he's sick and calls the cops while being responsible, but the cops are stupid because this is a John Hughes movie.
Yep. Yeah, it says, that it's a long plot. So the thieves, like, figure out that Alex is watching them, and then Alex rigs the house with booby traps, and let's see, alright, he rigs it, with the help of his pet rat and his brother's loudmouth parrot. They break, like, people break in, spring the traps, suffer injuries. While the 4 pursue Alex around the house, he flees and rescues Mrs. Hess, who has been duct taped to a chair in the garage by one of the people.
For days.
4 days.
In the elements.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my gosh.
And she's still alive.
They ambush Alex.
And souls of the elderly.
Yeah, but later uses a bubble gun resembling a Glock to scare him off. Okay. Meanwhile, the FBI and Chicago PD officers arrive at Alex's siblings' school after a tip-off. Alex's family brings the agents and the police to their house, where they arrest the people except for one who's in a snow fort in the backyard, and the parrot drives the remote control car into the fort and threatens to light fireworks.
No, hold on. There's a part, like, where Scarlett Johansson, like, shuts the door aggressively and proceeds to sass the FBI agents, and there's a deadpan moment where the agent describes the plot
verbatim
to the family, and they're looking at him like he's fucking crazy. And honestly, so is the audience, because they're looking at this feeling like they've been trolled.
Yeah. And then the thieves have chickenpox because of Alex. Yep.
Even though that's probably shingles, and they're most likely dead.
Yeah. I mean, I've had shingles twice, so I'm like, not entirely a death sentence, it's just painful.
Okay, so I'm going off of the theory that, like, you get shingles, you're fucked, so, like, that's where I was coming from. But
gotcha.
That said, like, I'm fairly certain you had chickenpox already.
Yes, I did.
So,
yeah.
Like, why are, like, I get it's a cute moment, but, like, don't pretend like this isn't, like, I don't know, like, and then 4...
Yeah, I'm gonna look up 4 right now.
Yeah, so 4 is essentially, it goes back to Kevin McAllister, but this time, the parents have gone the realistic route and divorced each other.
Ah, okay.
Now, why, how, for what reason? Write your own fan fiction.
Yeah. Well, this was also a made-for-TV movie, directed by Rod Daniel. I don't know if that means anything.
No, but I know it was produced in, I want to say South America, or it was some weird European country.
Oh, gotcha. Like it wasn't in the United States, yeah. Okay, let's see. All right, Peter McAllister, who is finalizing his divorce with his wife Kate, announces to their children, Buzz, Megan, and Kevin, that he and his wealthy girlfriend Natalie are hosting the visit of a royal family at her mansion and invites them to spend Christmas there. After the 3 initially refuse, Kevin accepts the offer after being bullied by Buzz and revels in the mansion's luxuries. The next morning, Peter and Natalie go out while Kevin stays with Natalie's servants, of course. Mr. Prescott, the butler, and Molly the maid.
I want to point out, though, one thing. Eric Avery playing Prescott is too good for this movie.
Oh, gotcha. And this has the French service. Yeah.
He's really, really good in shit, and is an amazing actor, but because he's not a name actor, does not get the respect for the roles he deserves.
Oh, no. Yeah.
One of those actors that I swear deserves to have his own lead role, or at the bare minimum, he's like David Warner in that same regard. So I just want to point that out.
Yeah. So Kevin notices his old nemesis Marv, who is now played by French Stewart, not by Joe Pesci.
About as awkward as you can get.
Yeah. And his wife Vera, scouting the house. After failing to get Mr. Prescott's attention via the intercom, he drives Marv and Vera away by flooding the mansion. All right. When Peter and Natalie return, they refuse to believe Kevin's explanation, especially since Mr. Prescott claims to have seen nothing. All right. Okay. Kevin discovers the security cameras were turned off during the break-in, leading them to believe that Mr. Prescott is in league with Marv and Vera. To cheer themselves up, Kevin, Peter, and Natalie decorate their Christmas tree, although it is later retrimmed.
This movie's not as well acted as she's saying it is, because
gotcha.
all this intrigue and everything, like, it's about as well acted as cardboard.
Oh no, yeah.
Please continue.
I'm just like now reading. I'm like, there's like a lot of like explanation of what happens, and then I'm like,
this was the pilot
for the movie, yeah. Yeah.
And I'll be on top of this and say, I really do wish they had gotten the original actor who played the dad, who was... John Hurd.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, seeing him get with a rich girlfriend, considering this is the man who was also in Sharknado, would have been hilarious in a meta sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, what's his name? The guy who played Marv.
Oh, French Stewart or Joe Pesci?
No, not the Joe Pesci role, the other one.
Daniel Stern?
Yeah. Played Marv. He was approached.
He was what?
He was approached to play Marv.
Okay.
I'm not surprised he turned it down, because this script is shit.
Yeah. He was like, absolutely not.
Daniel Stern, if you're listening to this by some miracle, you made a good move. At the same time, though, I'm also like happy you did that commercial where you were with Macaulay Culkin redoing everything from Home Alone. I really wish it was for a better product, but I still find that commercial amusing. Also, yes, this movie was produced in South Africa.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh,
closest
interesting.
got to an American anything was when it premiered in America to less than stellar numbers.
Right. Yeah. Original release, November 3rd, 2002, for the television ABC premiere, and then September 2nd, 2003 for the home video. Yep. So yeah, this is it's weird. Let's see. Let's go by Home Alone 5: The Holiday Heists.
AKA, I've never watched 5, but I am aware that Malcolm McDowell is in this.
Yes.
For reasons.
So this
Why
is
Malcolm McDowell in this?
So this is a 2012 made for television comedy film. Yep. All right. So the Baxter family moved from California to Maine and settled into their new house during the Christmas season. 10-year-old Finn Baxter and his older sister Alexis are technophiles. All right. Who isolate themselves from their parents. Yeah.
Translate up.
Right. From their parents and the outside world. Finn is playing video games and Alexis is often on her phone and computer. Encouraged by his dad to socialize, Finn befriends his neighbor Mason, who informs him about the legend of the smothered gangster whose ghost haunts the Baxter's house, leaving Finn very paranoid. Which I'm like, okay, alright.
How does this make the Wet Bandits and the Sticky Bandits viable as names more so?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the smothered.
It's the smothered gangsters. The legend of smothered gangster. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see. They leave the home to go Christmas shopping. A group of thieves consisting of Malcolm McDowell, the character named Jessica, and their new safecracker, Hughes, carry out a plan to break in and steal an old, long-lost Edvard Munch painting.
So, one of the guys from My Name is Earl.
I'm gonna have to look at this, because I'm like, okay, so, yeah.
So, 2 actors that are probably better than they deserve in this fucking...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and, Debbie, Mazar.
Oh,
with the pretty, yeah, I know. I'm like, damn, girl.
Oh, that's where I know you from.
Yeah.
Well, we're not a better thing, that's for damn sure. God. I really hope you're still in the cooking show. Oh, she did Paul Rubens.
Oh, not surprised. Did I somehow know about that? I don't know.
Sorry, it's just I'm more interested in the cooking show shit than anything else.
All this other stuff. You're like, well, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, look, this plot's obviously gonna be crap.
Right.
It's already like shaping up to basically be the biggest ripoff of the first movie ever, and probably
yeah.
Aaron Ginsberg. Oh god.
All right. On Christmas Day.
I'm more who wrote the actual script.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, on Christmas Day, Finn receives a snowboard and an expansion pack to Robo Infantry 3. Alexis gets a tablet, and Finn and his dad get a camping guide. Finn decides to break from the video game and go snowboarding. The final scene. offers have offenders have their mugshots taken at the police station. Okay.
So yeah, look it up. This guy wrote for Ninja Warrior, Unbeatable Bunch, so a bunch of Japanese Japanese translated game shows, but he wrote for Intelligence, The 100, New Amsterdam, and one of the Burn Notice TV movie that came out of it.
Oh damn.
So this man is actually aware of how to make shit. He also produced Edge of Sleep, New Amsterdam, and The 100.
What I just noticed. Oh wait, what? It says that this was. Oh okay. It was co-produced between ABC Family and Fox Studios, which I'm like, wait,
Fox
what?
Still owns the right to Home Alone. Sorry, this was
gotcha.
before the merger, so Fox still owned the rights to Home Alone.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, this is all. That's so crazy.
Oh my. Okay, this explains a lot. So you may remember Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure.
Yes.
Which Peter Hewitt did direct. But are you aware of Thunderpants?
Is that a teen movie?
No. It is so Thunderpants is a British young adult movie. I'm gonna say young adult. I'm pretty sure it's a kids movie. But what's impressive about this is Stephen Fry plays a noble. Paul Giamatti is in it. Rupert Grint, aka Ron from Harry Potter, as well as three other people from Harry Potter, as well as Ned Beatty, were in a movie about, and I'm not joking, a boy with the ability to fart so loud that it cracks the sound barrier.
I have heard of this movie. I know that that's a weird thing to say. I really like indie movies, and I really like just enjoying the indie movies. As long as they're semi-interesting, you know. But yeah, I have heard of this one, and I'm not surprised that Paul Giamatti is in something. It just, I don't know.
No, you don't understand. Thunderpants was made in 2002. This was when he was still famous.
Yeah.
This was before the boom of other shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking Sideways was 1999, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
So this was during his boom as an actor.
Yeah.
When he was getting into really good shit. I believe this was the period when he was in Liar, and shit, and all those terrible.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm fairly certain this movie is only known because multiple Harry Potter people are in it. I'm still maintaining that it has name actors like Stephen Fry, Ned Beatty, and who else? The kid who played one of the kids who played Crabbe and Goyle. Again, I know I'm speaking in alien language of Harry Potter shit, but that's the only reason mainstream audiences would know about this movie. Because when you hear the concept of a kid farting
loud
that breaks up his marriage, that breaks up his parents' marriage, and proceeds to use his farts to propel himself into space and sing. Yes. I'm not joking. This is all plot points in this movie.
Yeah.
You don't initially think it's going to be something you want to watch, but from what I understand, it's actually a good movie.
I believe this is also coming off of Spy Kids, which Spy Kids, whatchamacallit, they have a lot of famous people, like Steve Buscemi, in their movies. So I think sometimes just there's some actors who are yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. So Spy Kids was 2001. So yeah. They were probably playing off of that whole we're gonna be kid friendly, but I feel that okay, this is starting to make a little more sense.
So now you got it. Yeah. You're oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Not a whole lot of sense, but enough where I'm okay, I'm with you on this one.
Yeah.
But okay, but yeah, he made Home Alone: The Holiday Heist, aka up there with the worst Home Alone sequels. You still have the next one coming up, which is probably the most intolerable out of all of them.
Oh no.
But I'm not kidding. Like I'm looking at this. At the bare minimum, there's like at least enough here like to make something. I can guarantee you because I have watched enough of Home Sweet Home Alone. It's not.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that sounds pretty awful. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, so it's basically just if you're watching Malcolm McDowell piss his career away again, while in a very, very underutilized role, basically for a paycheck.
Damn.
Which is incredibly sad, but here we are.
Yep. Yep. That is pretty crazy.
What the? Yeah, like it's not even worth it because I'm looking at the synopsis for the most part, and it's just like a lot of these traps seem to be like repeats. I think. Yeah, Ice on the Patio. The cart full of okay, yeah, so a lot. Like, there's no point. Like,
yeah.
It's just about like they had the rights. You know what? I bet because I know this happens a lot with Hollywood. They were probably going to lose the rights to the movie. It was probably going to default to Disney. They needed to make something fast, so they made this. It happened with Hellraiser and a bunch of other horror franchises. I bet you this is what they were doing.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Because that makes the most sense to me.
I know, okay, I just looked up Kieran Culkin. He was in She's All That. That's where I know him from.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if I watched The Cider House Rules, but like, I must have at some point. But yeah, he was in
I'm aware of it, but I've never like.
Oh, Cider House Rules and The World According to Garp are like two of my favorite books.
I tried to watch The World According to Garp. Like, I don't know if it was. I think I was just tired that night. Like, I just.
Oh, gotcha.
It's one of those movies like you want to watch, but.
Yeah, you just end up not. Yeah, I mean, like I didn't watch The World According to Garp. I've read the book like 2 or 3 times because like I like John Irving. I just last year read A Widow for 1 year, which is different from all of the other John Irving books, but like I was reading the reviews, and clearly people do not know, and I'm like, I'm just going to go way off on a tangent. Clearly people do not know who John Irving is or what his writing is about, because, like, they were like, there's extramarital affairs and prostitutes, and, you know, it just doesn't make, you know, any sense. And I'm like, okay, listen, that is John Irving's writing, and I don't know how else to explain it to you. That's John Irving's writing. Like, of course there was a prostitute involved. I don't know what it is about, like, him and, like, European prostitutes, but, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Sex workers, that, like, it's all the time, Like, it's in every book. It's in every book.
I don't know. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't tend to judge. Like, I've actually supported the number of sex workers out there, so like.
Right.
Like, anything, but like,
yeah.
I don't know. Some people are like that, where they're like, you know, fuck this noise.
Right, and I'm just like, but like, I obviously don't mind, because like I've read multiple, you know, books of Irving, and like, yeah, that's his typical thing. Following a person throughout their entire life, telling, you know, stories. There's usually, there's all of these little tiny things in his stories that are like, 2 boys who are usually sons die. That's a whole thing. In a car accident, specifically. Usually there's some assault that's mistaken for something else, in The World According to Garp, because he's running through a park, and tried to help a little girl. He was accused of being like, I don't know, some like, sorry. of some rapist, I guess, in the park, but it wasn't him. It was this whole thing. It was misunderstood. And I know that happened also in what's the other one? In A Widow for 1 Year. I mean, there's just things that happen. And usually an affair, and I'm like, yeah, all of them had affairs in these really weird ways, and yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking up Home Alone 5. I mean, I do want to look up these books when I have a chance and actually read, because I've been like, I want to get back to reading, but I'm also like, I find like these kind of movies that get like produced by like Hollywood for like next to nothing, because
right.
I find this, the kid they got to play the new Kevin McAllister.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Kevin McAllister, but it's basically Kevin McAllister.
Right.
He's the kid from Jojo Rabbit.
Oh no.
Which is sad, because like I'm aware he got nominated for an Academy Award for his acting, and I know for a fact this movie is shit, not in any uncertain terms, because of his acting in this. So I'm like,
wait, Home Alone 5 or 6? 6. Okay.
Home Alone, Home Sweet Home Alone.
Home Sweet Home Alone. Yeah.
Oh god.
It looks like it started filming in 2021, so that might have been before. Oh no, this is a 2021 direct to DVD sequel. Okay.
Yeah, well, direct to DVD, but then went to Disney Plus.
Gotcha. Okay. So, I mean, that might have been around the same time, right, as Jojo Rabbit?
Well, Jojo Rabbit was
early 2021?
I believe it was 2019.
2019. Okay, so yeah, he'd already had. Yeah. I'll have to look up who the. Okay.
Sorry, like I'm like noticing a little bit, but yeah, like so. What I'm more like, they got Aisling Bea for this, which I'm really sad about because I love her as an actor.
Oh. Yeah. Well, they also have Elizabeth Kemper, which I'm like, she also won Emmys and everything. Like she's in she's the main character in the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah, so hold on. I'm going straight to the director. I'm going to the director and the writers, because I'm fairly certain that's where like most of like the. I mean, I'm also gonna be like where I'm gonna
and
assume
Kenan
time,
Thompson
like
and
time
Peter Holmes
for production is part of the issue, because they like Disney want these things like
and Chris
spanned
Pratt.
out in like days or whatever. So.
Yeah.
A long time. Oh. Okay. This is starting to make sense.
Oh no.
So the writer, was he the director? Yeah, he was the director. Dan Mazer.
Yeah.
This is the longtime writing and production partner of Sacha Baron Carter.
Okay.
Damn it. I'm looking at the name and I still pronounced it wrong.
It's okay.
Yeah. The longtime writing partner of Borat.
Of Borat, yeah. Oh, I know.
Of Borat.
I know who Sacha Cohen Baron is. Yeah. The old Ali G.
Sacha. Yeah. I feel like everyone else, I was like Boeing or something like that. No, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wrote. Oh god. So he wrote. So his early work was The Word, The Big Breakfast. He was nominated for an Academy Award. Are you serious? He won he was nominated for an Academy Award for Borat. For co-writing. Okay, sure. You know what? Yeah. Look, I love The Departed, so it's like there's no contest. I don't know why Borat was ever put in for an Academy Award, but okay.
I mean, the plot is starting to. All right, let's go.